Have you ever studied for hours, highlighted every line, read the same notes again and again, and still gone blank during the exam? If that has happened to you, you are not lazy, and you are not stupid. You were simply never taught the correct way to study. Most students learn what to study, but almost nobody learns how to study. In this video, I will show you the scientifically proven way to study, so you can remember more, stress less, and stop wasting your time. If you are a school student, a university student, or preparing for competitive exams, this video can completely change how you learn. Let's begin. First, we need to talk about the most common mistakes students make. The first mistake is highlighting and rereading. Highlighting feels productive, but research shows that after rereading once, we remember only about 10%. Your brain recognizes the words, so it feels familiar, but familiarity is not memory. That's why you feel confident while studying, but forget everything during exams. The second mistake is last-minute cramming. Cramming may help you survive one exam, but the information disappears very fast. The brain treats crammed knowledge like junk mail and deletes it within days. The third mistake is passive studying. Just reading, watching videos, or listening to lectures without engaging your brain. That's like trying to learn swimming by reading a book. You cannot build skill or memory without mental effort. Now let's talk about the most important concept in this entire video, the learning pyramid. The learning pyramid shows how much information we actually remember based on how we study. Most students spend all their time at the top of the pyramid, where learning is weakest, and never reach the bottom, where real mastery happens. Let's go step by step. At the very top of the pyramid is reading. This includes reading textbooks, notes, PDFs, and slides. When we only read, we remember about 10%. Reading is passive. Your eyes move, but your brain stays comfortable. That's why you can read the same page 5 times and still forget it later. The next level is listening. This includes listening to lectures, watching explanation videos, and attending classes. Here, retention increases slightly to about 20%. Sound helps, but the brain is still not forced to work. You feel like you understand, but understanding without recall does not last. The next level is watching demonstrations. This includes watching solved problems, experiments, or step-by-step explanations. Here, retention reaches about 30%. Visuals help the brain connect ideas, but you are still watching someone else think. Your brain is an observer, not a participant. Now we move into the power zone. The next level is active practice. This includes solving problems yourself, writing answers, doing exercises, and applying what you learned. At this level, retention jumps to about 75%. Why such a big jump? Because now your brain is working. You struggle, you make mistakes, you correct them. And struggle is where real learning happens. This is where toppers spend most of their time. At the bottom of the pyramid is the strongest method of all, teaching others. This includes explaining to a friend, teaching juniors, or even teaching yourself out loud. At this level, retention reaches up to 90%. Why? Because teaching forces your brain to organize information, simplify ideas, find gaps, and recall without notes. If you can teach something simply, you truly understand it deeply. The message of the learning pyramid is very clear. The more active your brain is, the more you remember. Reading and listening feel easy, but they create weak memory. Practicing and teaching feel hard, but they build strong memory. If you want to move from 10% memory to 90% memory, you must move down the pyramid, not stay at the top. Now let's talk about the most powerful study technique, active recall. Active recall means trying to pull information out of your brain instead of pushing it in. Instead of rereading notes, ask yourself, what do I remember? Can I explain this without looking? One powerful method is the Feynman technique. Choose a topic, explain it as if teaching a child, find where you get stuck, go back, fix the gaps, and explain again. Another method is self-testing. Use flashcards, past papers, or self-made questions. Students who test themselves score much higher than students who only read notes. Testing does not check learning. Testing creates learning. Now let's talk about spaced repetition. Here's a shocking fact. Without review, we forget about 50% of new information within the first hour. This is called the forgetting curve. Spaced repetition stops this. Learn the topic on day 1. Do a quick review on day 3. Test yourself on day 7 without notes. Each review tells your brain this information is important. Small reviews create long-term memory. Finally, let's talk about habits. Success in studying is not about motivation. It is about consistency. Use the 2-minute rule. Promise yourself just one page, just one question. Starting is the hardest part. Use habit stacking. Attach study to something you already do, like after breakfast or before sleep. Use the Pomodoro technique. Study for 25 minutes, take a 5-minute break, repeat, then take a longer break. This keeps your brain focused without burnout. Let's quickly summarize. Stop highlighting and cramming. Start active recall and testing. Move down the learning pyramid. Use spaced repetition. Build small daily habits. Study smarter, not longer. Remember, learning is a skill, and skills can be trained. If you change how you study today, your future exams will thank you. Good luck with your studies. Believe in yourself. You are capable of more than you think. If you think this video was helpful, please share it with your friends, subscribe to the channel, and stay connected for more helpful videos. Thank you for watching.